Welcome, I'm Darren, and I'll be your guide today as I look at the top stars sets for basketball. They made the sets in both 1996-97 as well as the year 2000 and 2001, which almost completely bookends the history of top stars. It's interesting because Top Stars is one of the few sets that was really started in basketball, and kind of like with Topps Archive, which even though there was a 2001 Topps Archive set for baseball, the 2002 Topps Archive set was nothing like any of the Topps Archive sets we would see afterwards. Very unique to basketball. Top Stars is exactly the same way, where it was created for a specific reason in basketball. And then when we got around in 1997 to using it in the other sports, or in both baseball and in football, it was used as a modern card set. And that's significant because in basketball, it was created specifically for the reason of the NBA's 50th year anniversary. So the NBA, in celebrating the 50-year anniversary, put together a list of the 50 greatest basketball players ever, most of whom were already retired legends, but a lot of them were current players. And so Topps created a whole card set that was designed to look just at those 50 players. So a couple of the cards obviously were modern players. Everybody else was new to most card collectors. And it was, it wasn't a high-end card set. So where SPX could get away with being 50 cards, this couldn't pull that off, so they made a 150 card set. Every single player in the set had 3 cards. And that's the way that the set was built. And so that means that there are different card designs for each of the 3 different cards. So the Top Stars set, the first group of cards, 1 through 50, are full bleed image cards with a logo with a holofoil basketball, but the holofoil basketball is more of a blue color. So that's significant because they'll be coming up a little bit later on. These images are usually in color, but if the images are black and white or sepia, then that's the way that they came on the card. And on the card back of the first group of cards, they have the statistics for the player's career. Now the second group of cards, cards number 51 through 100, are the golden season cards. And they have a strip down one side, which makes them very, very clear in this card set, which is good. It's stuffed right in the middle. Each one of these cards looks at the best season that the player had in his career. The third set is, well, we're back to a full bleed image, just like the first set, or the first portion of the set, but these cards, 101 through 150, have more of an orange basketball in the holofoil logo. And these cards they don't talk about the player's career as much as they have bullet point highlights talking about the significant things in the player's career. And so that's the way the set was designed. Every single player has 3 cards, each one of them with a different image, and player 13 also has a card numbered 63 as well as a card 113. Likewise, card number 37 has a card number 87 and a card number 137. So the card set, 150 cards, 50 players, everybody treated exactly the same way. And well, it's the mid-1990s, so what about parallels? And fortunately for us, they do have parallels. Topps had just in 1996 started their Topps Chrome set. Now, Topps Chrome was released separately from the main Topps set. So you collected packs here, you collected those packs over there. Here, they did do a Topps Chrome equivalent, where they used the chromium technology, the finest technology for the cards, but these were done as inserts in packs. The cards are no different than the main cards, except that they have the chromed surface with little stars embedded inside of the card. This makes it difficult to determine whether this is a finest or a chromium card versus a regular card online, because the front of the card looks almost identical and the back has nothing that distinguishes them. They do, however, have parallels even of those. And so obviously the refractors, this was the big thing with Finest and obviously with Topps Chrome. And so every single one of these cards do have a refractor version. The refractor version obviously has the effect on the front, but on the back, these do specify refractor. But 1996 was the year when they started to explore refractors, and they had developed their atomic refractors, which is a whole grid of little boxes that has an interesting pattern to it that they used here with these cards as well. So that means that every single player has 4 versions of cards out of packs. They have the regular, they have the chrome version, they have the refractor version, and they have the atomic refractor version. So 150 cards, 4 copies of each, which actually is not entirely accurate. There is a 5th copy because they also had a set that they sold through the Stadium Club members only release, which is like the Stadium Club cards for 1996. On the back, they have diagonal print of the words members only covering the entire back of the card. And so these cards also can be found for, obviously for the complete set. So there are 4 parallels of each card in packs, but there's a 5th that can also be found outside of packs. I also want to note, though, that they do have checklist card, a checklist card that's a filler card that is an interesting checklist card because it only lists 50 names, but each name has 3 numbers next to it so you can see the order. And they're spaced out enough that, well, it can be kind of difficult to make sense of the different numbers unless you line it up with like another card. Not that you're going to have a tough time because the sequence is pretty obvious. So for the main set, there are, well, for whatever player you're choosing, there are a grand total of 12 cards out of packs. 13, well, not 13, 15 with the members only cards, but 12 cards in the main set, but they also do have inserts. And the first insert set is called Imagine. Now this is a carryover from like Collector's Edge, Time Warp, where they have 2 players who in most cases never went head to head. And so they're both put onto this card, whether one player is stuck onto the image of the other player or whether they're both put onto a unique background. It gives the ability to see what it would look like to have these 2 players going head to head in a matchup. And it's kind of cool. Now it's really interesting when you have a color image and a black and white image, or 2 players from the same team, but still it's an interesting card set that is a card set of 25 cards. Every single player shows up on one of these cards. But the other insert set is a cross-brand set, where in Topps proper, they wanted to celebrate the 50-year anniversary of the NBA, but they didn't want to do what they were doing the same year in football, where they were integrating the 40-year celebration of Topps in football with a card set dedicated to the history of the Topps designs. Instead, here they wanted to leave that to Topps Stars, but include something, and so a special reprint set reprinting all of the rookie cards for each one of the 50 players was released in both Topps and Topps Chrome or Topps Finest. Basically, on the Topps side, there are cards, and then also in Topps Stars, there are cards as well. But for the Topps side of the fence, only the current day players show up in that set. So they have a complete 50 card set of reprints of all of the top 50 players. But any player who was still playing showed up in Topps, Topps Chrome, Topps Finest, however that worked. I talked about that in the 1996 Topps video if you want to check it out. They showed up there. All of the retired players showed up in Topps Stars packs. And so that means that you have reprints of cards that don't necessarily fit the normal card size. So old Bowman cards in any of the tall boys, those are all resized to be normal card sizes. And I don't know why they didn't do smaller Bowman cards, because those would fit into packs. But there's no confusing these cards because all of these reprint cards are on modern cardstock with a glossy surface. But they did do parallels as well. So they do have a chrome version of these reprints. Every single player in the card set has it. These are a lot easier to tell because almost all of these cards have a white background, and the white background comes out as silver on a Topps Chrome card, which is good. But they also did a refractor version. So they have 3 versions of every single card. They have a normal card, they have a chrome card, and they have a refractor. They did not do an atomic refractor Or, to the best of my knowledge, they did not do a members only version as well. But for 10 of the players, they did do autographs. The autographs are the exact same as the regular cards in the set. They have the autograph on the front, of course, but also Topps was just getting into autographs, and so they have the authentic autograph stamp stuck onto the front of the card. And that is 1996-97 Topps Stars. I apologize that there's a lot to talk about here because it's really actually quite simple, but I wanted to make sure that you understood all of the facets of this release. But when they launched the 1997 set, which was built in a way kind of more to celebrate rookies, it was designed as more of a high-end set for baseball and for football, they didn't bother to do it for basketball as well. So we got to see it in 97, 98, 99, and into 2000 in those other sports. At the tail end of 2000, we got to see our only hockey set, and we got to see a second basketball set. And so by the time they eventually got around to the other basketball set, which was just before the end of the road, well, it was absolutely nothing like the original set, but then even the 1997 sets were unlike the original sets. Basically, Topps Stars, after the original set, had nothing to do with with legendary players until the 2001 proper baseball set, which closed it all out. That did have a few. But here for basketball in 2000, 2001, this set is all about current players. And the card design is, well, it's a new millennium card design. It is an overpowering card which has kind of like brush strokes on the front, which is an interesting effect. It's a card that every time I feel it, I'm trying to figure out if there's wood grain or if that's supposed to be like lacquer lines. Still, it is unique. And they have a basketball key theme on the background with a team color, design color for the what essentially is the outer border of each one of these cards, and they have gold foil. Or in the case of rookies, they have silver foil along with a rookie logo. But every card in the set also comes with a bronze parallel. Now here the background is bronzed, but mostly the foil, the gold foil and the silver foil, is bronzed. These cards are all numbered out 299. Well, okay, not all of these cards, because they also have a subset that is called Spotlight. And Spotlight is a card set where they use gold foil for the card, and it has floating basketball in the background. It's an interesting design, but for this particular set, the parallel of it, which is done the same way on the front, it's still a bronzed background, the foil is also bronze, but these cards are individually serial numbered out of 99, so they're significantly harder to come by than the main cards in the set. But that's it. That's the set. Now, thankfully, there were a lot of inserts, but that was the set. So the first insert set is All-Stars, or should I say All-Star Authority. This is a card which the whole background is, it's got a radial pattern to it, which is pretty dynamic, but the whole card is covered in holofoil, which is a very overpowering effect, but with the radial pattern, it almost has a redeeming quality to it, so it's kind of interesting. Now, for the next set, which is called On the Horizon, these cards are designed, well, also with a holofoil background. Not quite the same holofoil color. They have an effect of, it's basically a horizon is what it is in the background. But these cards are a different version of kind of the same concept as the All-Star Authority cards. Fortunately, progression is done a bit differently. This is a horizontal card that has 3 players where, okay, here is where we actually get legendary players. You get a legendary player, you get a veteran player, and you get a young star. All lined up, all from the same position, all on another holofoil card. But these cards tend to be a little bit more difficult to get to because of the fact that you have multiple players that people are collecting. So if you're trying to get like a young star, you might have to compete a little bit. They're not expensive, but they're still kind of pursued. And then they have one more normal insert set called Walk of Fame. And Walk of Fame is, well, it's a different radial pattern type of a design for a card that, again, has holofoil on it. Not a lot of interest with these insert sets. These are the kinds of things that you kind of churn together and you kind of put together. But they do have two true New Millennium cards where they have an autograph and they have a jersey swatch. The autographs are, I believe they're all rookies, but they are designed for autograph on card. The cards are type portraits of the players with gold foil on them. They're very nice autographs. They have the autograph authenticity stamp that's on it. On the back they have the sticker for authenticity. But they also, for the jersey cards, these are different because these are done around the NBA Finals. I had a difficult time trying to figure out which one to get because, I mean, they're mostly the Lakers. But I do have to admit, there are two Lakers I like. One's Kareem and the other's AC Green. So I was able to track down an AC Green card. And you'll notice that where the jersey swatch is, the logo includes a little picture of, well, not a picture, a little drawing of the NBA Finals trophy, where the basketball is sticking out over the jersey swatch. So it's a slightly complex die cutting for this card. And that brings to a close Top Stars. It's interesting to see the wild dichotomy between these two sets where they are only connected in name only. But I mean, that's even the case from the 96-97 basketball set to the upcoming 1997 proper set. The concept is, it has nothing to do with each other, which makes these two sets very, very interesting. It's going to take me a while until I get a chance to get into the other Top Star sets in the other sports. So, that'll be fun to eventually get to. Look forward to that, but yeah, it'll take a while. But I do want to thank you for watching this video, for taking the time to see it all the way through. And, well, frankly, if you haven't subscribed, please do so. I guess that's it, so thank you very much for watching.